In this video, we're going to talk about UFC 241, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic 2, and I'm going to have my picks for you guys. Let's go. What up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. We're going to be talking about UFC 241, the main card. That's what we're going to focus on. But there's a lot of other fights that's going to be on the prelims and the early prelims as well that you should be checking out. Definitely check out the whole card. It's pretty good card too from top to bottom, but we're only talking about just the main card. So the first fight that we have on the main card is Derek Brunson versus Ian Heinisch. And with this fight, I'm going to pick Ian Heinisch for the decision win against Derek Brunson. I don't think Derek Brunson is, that kind of fighter anymore. He once was a top fighter in a division, in a middleweight division, but it doesn't look like it is anymore. He did win that fight against Ellis Thiardo, or whatever his name was. He's out the UFC anyway. He beat him by decision, and it wasn't no kind of impression. I mean, Ellis could have won that fight. You never know. It was a split decision. But whatever. But I'm going to pick Ian for the decision win. He did win his last fight against, I think it was something junior. I forgot what was the name. But he did win that fight, so I'm going to pick him. He's a champion from a different organization, so I'm going to pick him for the win. Ian for the decision win. So the next fight that we have is going to be in the featherweight division. Gabriel Benitez versus Sadiq Yusef. And I am totally on board with Sadiq Yusef. The dude is spectacular. Even though Gabriel is a good fighter, he's one of those Mexican fighters who can get it on, who can, just not get knocked out. He's one of those, Mexican fighters. Of course, the myth with Mexican fighters is just keep coming at you and just keep bringing it. But Yusef is a awesome fighter. I think he's going to get a knockout in the second round. If anything, I don't know if it's going to be a knockout, because you can't. It's hard to knock out Mexicans, right, in the fight game. So I'm going to pick a decision, but I'm going to pick Yusef for the fight. So Yusef for the decision win is going to be spectacular. I can't wait to see it. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight because Yusef is not that kind of fighter, and I don't think Benitez is that kind of fighter either. So it's going to be a good fight. Now, the next fight is an anticipated fight that we waited for a while. Yoel Romero versus Paulo Acosta is going to be an awesome fight. Of course, Yoel Romero is one of those fighters who's been in the game. He's a veteran, has been in the game for years, and he is 40 years old with the physique of a freak. I don't know. The dude is. I'm not 40. I'm in my 30s, and I am nowhere close of Yoel Romero's physique, man. I should be ashamed of myself of how I look compared to Yoel Romero, and he's 40 years old. I don't know. I can't say. But the dude is awesome, man. Dude is good, and he's going against this young buck, this young dude. No disrespect to him at all, because Paulo Acosta is that dude. Paulo Acosta is that young up-and-coming dude who might take over the middleweight division. And he's that good, man. He's really good. So he might be one of the ones that will go up against the winner of the UFC 243. That's going to be Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whitaker versus Israel Adesanya. So the winner of that, the winner of this can actually go up against the winner of that fight as well. But I'm over here. I'm picking the veteran. I'm going to pick Yoel Romero because I really think he has one more chance to get that title fight, man. I really think he's going to have that chance. I don't know if he's going to have that chance if Robert Whitaker wins, but if Israel Adesanya wins, I can definitely see that fight with him versus Yoel Romero. So I'm picking Yoel Romero for the fight. I'm picking the veteran. I really hope he wins. I think the UFC hope he wins too. I don't care. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But if Paulo Acosta wins as well, it's going to be a good fight. If Robert Whitaker wins, and or either or Robert Whitaker or Israel Adesanya wins. So we'll see. But I'm going to pick Yoel Romero for the win. I will say it's going to be a decision win. He is the veteran. He's going to know how to win. So I'm going to pick Yoel Romero for a decision. All right, now let's get into the co-main for the main card. Okay, it's going to be Anthony Showtime Pettis versus Nate Diaz. And we've been waiting a long time to see Nate Diaz back in the cage. And this time we're going to get it. And it's going to be a good fight, man. Both of these guys are scrappers. Both of these guys will bleed. Both of these guys will do their thing. They won't shy away. They will fight to the end. They'll fight to the finish. They won't back down. Everything about this fight that you want to see is going to happen. I believe is going to happen. Anthony Showtime Pettis is a new guy in the welterweight division. He's not a new guy. He's a new guy in the welterweight division. But the first fight he had in the welterweight division was against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and he bounced off the cage with a Superman punch knockout against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and that was it. He was in the welterweight division. What a way, right? He's Showtime. That's the way he does it. So Showtime is in it. And for Nate Diaz, he's been in the welterweight division, kind of, because he only fought Conor McGregor twice in the welterweight division. So both of these guys are not, they're not foreign to the welterweight division. They're not foreign to 170. But Nate Diaz hasn't fought in a while. Nate Diaz, we're going to see if he's going to have ring rust or cage rust or whatever kind of rust you want to call it. He hasn't fought in that long. But I think he's going to be on point. I think Nate's going to be Nate. I think Nate is going to do his thing. And he's just going to just continue on to how he is. And I don't think there's going to be any ring rust at all. So I don't have no problems. I don't have no interpretations with Nate back in the cage. I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to do an awesome job. He's going to bring it like he always brings it. He's going to keep walking in like he always keeps walking in. He's going to keep punching Anthony Pettis. But I still think Anthony Pettis is going to take the win. I think Anthony Pettis is going to take the win in a decision. There's a lot of decisions I'm talking about right now. These last couple fights I'm going to say is going to be decisions, but I don't know. I think it's going to be so good though. I don't think these decisions are going to be a boring decision fight. You know how some of those decision fights is going to be boring. I think it's going to be some really good fights with these fights, man. From maybe not the first one in the main card, but definitely the Yusef fight, the Romero fight, and the co-main event fight. I think it's going to be going back and forth. These guys are going to bring it, and with Anthony Pettis and Nate Diaz, they're going to do the same thing. But I feel like Anthony Pettis is going to win by decision. The only reason why I say a decision is because with Nate Diaz, you don't really see him get, knocked out. And that's the only way I can see Anthony Pettis winning is with a knockout. Even though Anthony Pettis has that power, Nate Diaz, I don't really see him getting knocked out like that. So if it's going to be a knockout, I haven't seen Anthony Pettis get knocked out either. I see him get drawn down because he gets hurt in the fights. But I think with him being in welterweight now is going to, subtract him getting hurt in the fight as much, and he's going to be 100%. He always says he feels great, but he definitely says he feels way better than he ever did in the welterweight division, being at 170. So I'm going to say it's either going to be Nate walking him down or Anthony Pettis just keeping his distance, getting his strikes, and getting in whatever they can. Both of these guys I think is going to bleed, so it's going to be some blood pouring no later than the first half of the first round, right? So there's going to be some blood. These guys are going to scrap. These guys are going to go in. You're going to see some, some flipping of the birds. You're going to see it all. So I can't wait to see it, man. But I'm going to have Anthony Pettis' side. Anthony Pettis is my boy. I never pick against Anthony Pettis. So it might alter, not alter, but it might, I'm probably picking my heart instead of my mind. But I'm going with Anthony Pettis, okay? What can you say? So now we have the main event this time. The main event of the evening, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. The second time, this is their rematch for the heavyweight title. Now, if we talk about Stipe, he hasn't fought in over a year. Daniel Cormier hasn't fought in a little bit, but he has fought since he's beaten Stipe. Only one time, though. But with that said, Daniel Cormier feels some kind of way that Stipe didn't take no other fights. He's been waiting for this fight. Stipe wanted this rematch ever since, the Brock Lesnar thing came about, even though they both knew Brock Lesnar would probably fight them next, whoever would win. I don't know. But Stipe felt the kind of way. He thinks he should have a rematch. And now he's going to get the rematch because Brock Lesnar is not fighting anymore. He's officially retired and he's not fighting anymore, which doesn't mean anything in the UFC or in the MMA world because anybody can just come back after you retire. So, but Brock Lesnar probably is just done, right? I don't know. Whoever. He probably didn't feel like it was enough buzz about it. That's why he probably didn't come back. I don't know. Whatever. So, it doesn't matter. But now it comes to the fight. Now, I'm going to pick Daniel Cormier for this fight. I'm going to pick him with a second-round submission, okay? The reason why I picked second-round submission is because with Stipe, I think he's not going to do anything different. There's nothing different that Stipe is going to do. And in the first round, I think it might go to Stipe, but the second round, I think DC is going to actually figure him out and wrestle him down and submit him, just like he does with a whole bunch of his opponents, except John Jones. So I think it's going to be a submission in round 2 for DC Daniel Cormier. It will be a good fight in the first round. You will probably see some eyebrows raised, lifted. So we're going to see about that, but I do think that Daniel Cormier is going to win that fight. So that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate it. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. I'm going to be live tweeting with the fights happening on Twitter at Zoe Yours Truly. And make sure to catch me on Instagram at Zoe Podcast 1 and on Facebook at Zoe Podcast 1. I'll put the links in the description. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I want to have some more content for you for UFC 241. That's all I got. Y'all take it easy, enjoy the fight, and make sure to hit me up on Twitter. Until then, deuces.